Hey, good Friday afternoon, everybody. BAM weather. Meteorologist Brett Waltz here giving you a BAM live forecast update. Hey guys, we're not 100% done with the snow yet. We do have a light little wave of snow that's going to be pushing through the area. You can see here, working from northwest to southeast across the area. I do think that some very light accumulations are possible with this, but not going to be a major issue. Hey guys, I wanted to be sure to thank our sponsor, Ray Skillman on US 31 South, Ray Skillman Auto Center. If you're interested in a GMC or Buick, be sure to go over there and say hi to Colton. We again want to thank them for sponsoring this stream. But again, if you're across central and into southern Indiana, I do think that some light snow is possible. Kirk, it looks like our radar is glitching a little bit. Can we refresh it there? All right, let's refresh it. That's probably our internet. Sometimes it gets a little bit splotchy on that computer. Not going to be an issue with the radar, but hey, take a look. Zoomed in look here. You can see some of the snow starting to work through the Indy Metro. We do have some flurries flying across the Greenwood area right now where our office is, and you can see where the bulk of that snow is. Lighter off to the north, up closer to the north side, Carmel, Kokomo, those areas, it's going to be very light. I think that the heaviest will be along and south of I-70. You can see some of those darker blues starting to work southeast towards the Bloomington area and on the south side. Hey guys, if you're interested in getting these high-res radar images, these range rings that will light up red if there's lightning within them, be sure to go to wxporthole.com. Sign up. Again, it's great for Little League, it's great for golf courses, schools, and we've got all of that proprietary data on there. I know we've talked about it before, 36-hour data. We've got a 7-day forecast that is specific to your location. We'll actually take a look at that later in this live stream as we work towards the end. And of course, want to take a look at our spring forecast and look at all the other data that we have here. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but we've got 24-hour snowfall, QPF, quantitative precipitation. We've got hail probability, lightning probability, watches and warnings. And the great thing about those watches and warnings, guys, is that if you are in a large county, say Monroe County, Indiana, say you're in Bloomington, and there's a tornado warning on the north side, closer to Martinsville, up towards that area there, say it's just on the very northern edge of Monroe County, you won't get that tornado warning because it's not going to affect you. Now, if you're on the north side of Monroe County and that storm is going through Bloomington, there's a tornado warning down there, but not for you. You won't get that warning. It's only if the warning is over your exact location. That is the difference between weather apps, between really anything that you'll get on TV or the National Weather Service, where it's going to come in regardless of where you are in the county. That's why our location-specific weather alerts are so important. No false alarms, no terrible confusion like I know we've seen at some universities over the past couple of years. So certainly don't want that to happen. We don't want false alarms. We don't want people to get comfortable saying, oh, it never hits us. Sometimes it can. We want to keep everybody safe, and that's one of the reasons we do that. But hey guys, let's get into the verification of our forecast here. Of course, we had that snow that worked through Tuesday and Wednesday. Here was our final forecast, 1 to 2 inches across I-70. We had that 4 to 7 inch band off to the north. Here are the observations for this system, and all in all, guys, I'm really happy with how this forecast turned out. We really nailed the northeastern part of the area with that 4 to 7 inches from Fort Wayne, South Bend, and up into Angola. 1 to 2 inches along and north of I-70, an inch or less down to the south. Really, the only area that overachieved was probably on this far northwest side, west of Peoria. But other than that, guys, really happy with how this turned out, especially given all the fits that this system had with a major southeast trend as we worked closer to the event. And again, not quite done yet. We've got this light snow that's going to work across the area over the next couple of hours. Again, you can see where that heaviest burst will be, probably just to our south, just south of Indy, closer to the Bloomington area. I do think that some light accumulations are possible with this. You can see here our favored data right now. It's all going to be less than an inch. Most areas less than a half an inch as well. Probably just going to be some festive snow, a coating, but guys, got to remember, it is coming through around the evening rush hour. Friday is always a little bit earlier with the Friday evening rush. So certainly something that if you're going to be out traveling this afternoon, you may want to keep in mind that there could be some light snow throughout the area. Could put down a quick coating, especially on those untreated surfaces. But again, remember how things went earlier this week. It is the middle of the day. A lot of it probably does melt on contact, but I think that untreated surfaces, we may need to at least watch out for some slick spots this afternoon. Beyond this, guys, hey, let's look at our weekend. Widespread sunshine as we work throughout the day tomorrow. Going to have plenty of blue skies across the area. It's going to be a great day. It's still going to be a little bit chilly, but take a look at what happens as we push in warmer air onto your Sunday. We're talking about widespread 50s and 60s across the state. We're going to be probably getting close to the upper 50s to near 60 degrees along and south of I-70 on your Sunday. Maybe some mid 60s out here to the west near the St. Louis area, down into Mount Vernon, southern Illinois, Paducah, Louisville into the lower 60s as well. So a very warm day for the first day of March. The end of the meteorological winter is here, and we are certainly starting off spring with some very spring-like weather. If we take a look here, we are going to see some rain. Now, if you've noticed, and guys, I just can't get my titles right on this thing this week, but regardless, this is the simulated radar, but you can see here, precipitation working across the area Sunday night as we work into your Monday and your Tuesday. As we work throughout Tuesday, note it starts to push out of the area. Now, this is a big change from what was on the date of really just about 12 to 24 hours ago. If you take a look at the change in precipitation forecast from our European model, this is just a change in 12 hours. The latest run is on the left here. It has trended drastically lower with the precipitation totals. It's really putting most of the state of Indiana from 1/10 to 1/2 inch of rainfall versus 12 hours ago, putting the southern half of the state anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain. And that's down from the European model putting down 5 inches of rain in parts of southern Indiana this time yesterday. So there has been a drastic southeastward shift once again on the data. We saw this last week with the snowstorm, shifted way further southeast, took Chicago out of that rain, and it looks like we're having this happen again. Now, I will say, this is the extreme solution right now. The GFS model, the Canadian model, the United Kingdom model is all still a little bit heavier, especially across southern Indiana. So I still think here that we could get some decent rainfall if you're in the southern half of the state Monday and into your Tuesday. But at this time, it's not looking quite as impressive. And it's in part because of how this jet stream is setting up. I wanted to show you just our upper level winds, which drive our precipitation patterns, drive our low pressure patterns. Note you have two separate areas of jet streams. You've got one coming from the subtropical regions, pumping in all that moisture, and then you have another one in the North Pacific that's working across the northern US. When you get that, when you have this split flow of the jet streams, it makes it very difficult for storm systems to develop across the central US and into the Missouri and Ohio Valley, and it makes model chaos very, very high. It's why the models have been so poor as of late, and it makes it very difficult for forecasting, because if these two jets come together a little bit further west, it can increase the precipitation totals across the Ohio Valley. If it comes in further east, it can really lead to a very dry pattern. And I do think that this setup continues as we work throughout March here, and it could lead to more model busts. It could also lead to a drier risk at times in the western plains, west of our area. I think that with the subtropical jet, we can kind of generally stay a little bit wetter across the Ohio Valley. And if we take a look at our 7-day forecast here, note the warming trend. This is the big deal. 36 degrees or around there for your Saturday. We are steadily warming up as we work throughout the next 7 days. You can see rain chances Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Of course, the latest European model came in much less with that, so we'll have to see how our latest proprietary data comes in. It's still hinting right now of some rain chances on Wednesday, but perhaps not as heavy as what was previously thought. Monday and Tuesday, regardless, I do think that we see some rain. The good news is it's warm. We're not looking at 30s for high temperatures or anything like that. We're above normal. We've got more spring-like conditions. It's almost like we hit that March 1st and bam, we're back into spring, winter over. And I really don't see a whole lot right now as far as wintry chances go as we work into March. And I did want to share with you our spring forecast. So we sent this out to clients today. This is our temperature forecast that we sent out to clients. March is looking very warm at this point. It's going to start well above normal for the first 15 days. And I think that as we work throughout the month of March, as we work throughout, especially I would say May, it's going to be warmer, especially from the eastern plains down into the Ohio Valley and southeastern US, favoring an overall warmer spring for a good majority of the country. That doesn't mean there won't be times where we get cold shots. I think that maybe late March we've got the risk of more cooler air behind storms, but I think the overall pattern that we are going to see is likely going to be warmer than normal, and that's why I would plan for this spring. So certainly not the cold start to spring that we've seen the past several years. We're looking more like a couple of warmer years ago, 2016 and even before that. So I'm happy to take some questions now. happy to answer any that we may have. If you have any questions about spring, I know we've talked about some severe weather at times. Travis, I don't have the Lafayette 7-day on hand with me. If you're interested, you can sign up for our weather porthole at wxporthole.com and get all of that information, 7-day forecast, 36-hour forecast. There's some good information on our website there, but I don't have it on hand to click through right now, so maybe I'll show one next week. Steven says, bring on spring and summer thunderstorms. I think that we could actually have a little bit of severe weather down here in the deep south next week, next Tuesday, I believe. Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi will really maybe get to see our porthole in action. Hopefully we can get some good severe storms. We can show you some of the features of our porthole for severe weather. Hail probabilities, lightning probabilities, rotation. That'll be a great tool when we're tracking tornadoes this spring. Maybe we'll get to show you some of that next week down off to our south. All right, let's see here. Just the occasional random flake on the north side of Lafayette for now. Yeah, you all are a little bit on the north side of the system here, not going to get as much.
What is the moisture outlook for spring?
The moisture outlook. So right now, looking like it's going to be wetter than normal, especially across the eastern portion of the United States. I think that at times you'll have drier risk across the western plains. All right, Barb, thank you for your report. Spitting snow on the southeast side. That's pretty much how it is here right now. Not heavy. Looks like mostly flurries still right now out our window here in Greenwood. Let's see. Bob says rain with warm temps. Yeah, I think that it's going to be rainy and a little bit warmer. Right now, we don't have a super great setup for the 70, 80 degree extreme heat because of the split flow. It doesn't really favor that. It's kind of warmer, mild Pacific air, but it's mild enough that it produces much above normal temperatures. It's just a more widespread warmth where it's not all confined to one area. What you can often get, guys, in this type of, in spring, is you can often get major cold across the western U.S. and into the northern plains, and it really compresses all of that air and makes it very, very warm across the southeast U.S., and it can end up leading to 70 and 80 degree temperatures in March. Not seeing that right now. Right now, I think that it's more of a widespread warmth across the country. I don't necessarily see that it's going to be record-breaking as far as the day by day, but when you average it all out, it may end up being a top 10 warmest March on record. Steve says, do you think we are done for snow? No, we've got some outside right now. After that, you can't rule it out, but I think the chances are going to be very, very difficult. I think that it's a low chance at this point after, of course, today. Let's see if I missed any questions. Ruth says, thank you for Greenwood updates. Of course, be sure to tune back in here. We try to do one of these at least, 4 or 5 times a week. And hey guys, I want to be sure to thank our sponsor, Ray Skillman Auto Center on US 31 South. If you're interested in a GMC or a Buick, go there, ask for Colt. They're the ones that are helping make this happen. So if you want to keep us on here, want to keep us continuing, be sure to reach out to them, say hello. If you're interested in a car, go say hi to them. And if you're interested in sponsoring our stream, we welcome other sponsors. So if you are interested to get your name up here for your company, feel free to contact us at info@bamwx.com or message us on Facebook. We'll get you taken care of. I know we've got a couple of other sponsors coming as we work into spring with our friends at Main's Harley Davidson. All right. Travis says, who has a better chance of snow, me or you going forward? Travis, I think there's always a better chance in Battleground. Sorry, Travis, I'm giving you a hard time, but just naturally, you're further north this time of year. You've got a better shot. All right, Jason asked, will it be a wet planting season again? I think that depends on where you are. Eastern Ag Belt, I do think it can be a little bit wet, but I don't know if it's as excessively wet as it was last year. All right, that is all the questions I see going on right now. Hey guys, thanks again for sticking with us throughout this week. I know it was another busy week with that snow. Probably the last big one of the season around central Indiana, especially along and north of I-70. I don't see any big systems in the cards as of now the next couple of weeks. Of course, if anything changes, we will be sure to let you know. We'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll have some of those storms to track down to the south. But until then, guys, have a great rest of your weekend and enjoy the warm first day of March.